des belles photos.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. When you hear that sound, Afrika, Afrika nakupenda sana, you know it is the time for you to spend this beautiful moment with us. This is our African experience with me, Dr. HLAMI. You know I'm not alone. I'm with my host, Mandla Mabunda. Welcome to the African experience with us. Mandla, how are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Doc, and good evening to our listeners everywhere. And today it's quite an interesting show. I am so happy to be talking to our guest, and who is an agricultural consultant, specialist. I mean, I cannot wait to learn. You know, me and food security, we are just, friends like that. So I can't wait. So people must just get their popcorn, get their drinks ready, and then don't forget, our beautiful listeners, to always send us a message. If you know Evelyne, come through, add to your bid. Remember, we are telling the African story our way. Doc.
Yes. Today we are going to, I'm not sure whether I should say West Africa, Central Africa, but she's going to tell us. We are talking anything and everything about Cameroon. We'd like to welcome our beautiful guest, Evelyne Ndiondjou. Evelyne, welcome to the African experience.
Thank you, Lami. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be part of this.
Oh, I just love your outfit. Mandla, just a disclaimer. I got to know Evelyne some time back, and she also came to South Africa to visit. And I also went to Cameroon, and she was a beautiful, beautiful host. She hosted me, and I thought, wow, if there is one person to tell us about Cameroon, it has to be Evelyne. Thank you so much for joining us. And we know that you are such a global citizen. You are not only from Cameroon, but you are also sitting somewhere now. You're going to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell our listeners who you are and what do you do.
Thank you, Lami. I'm Evelyne Ndiondjou. I am from Cameroon, and I am a sociologist. In the university I studied social sciences, but I focus more on sociology and anthropology. And in my professional life, I was lucky because I am doing what I learned in the university. So I am working as an expert now. Right now, I am the head of office of a Swedish NGO that is based in Bukavu, the DRC. And I am a feminist. So everything that I touch, I put the feminist touch inside.
Wow.
Uh, yes, even if I am working on the agricultural sector, like we met together in the agricultural agri business issues.
Yes.
I am yes, my main issue is what are women gaining in that sector? What are the men's concern? What are the difficulties they are facing, and how we can change it? We can change things to let them really benefit from that where from the sector where they are involving themselves, the way the
Wow.
men are doing. So that is my main concern. So
Wow.
yes, I
It's
also work on everything that concerns decentralization and local
yeah.
development in global. So that
Wow.
is me.
Wow, that is so beautiful. You know, when as you are sharing who you are, there is something that is so special. You said you studied sociology and anthropology. I
Yeah,
can imagine that there might be someone somewhere listening who's studying anthropology and they don't know how they can connect anthropology and
yeah,
agriculture. And here
yeah.
you are, you tell us this is what you studied, and you're
Mhm.
working in the agri-space, agribusiness, and you are a feminist. You are bringing the gender issues into the sector. That is
Yeah,
very, very beautiful. It's very interesting to actually see how you came into the agricultural sector through the sociology and anthropology pathway. That is
mm,
so, so beautiful.
thank
I
you.
also like what we are saying. You are in DRC. I think we're gonna pack DRC now. You are actually inspiring me to say we might invite you again so that you share your experience around DRC. But
Yeah,
today, if it's okay with you, we're gonna focus on Cameroon. You know.
yeah, my country.
Mandla, what do you think? I'm really really excited about exploring Cameroon with Evelyne.
This is so exciting for me. I just hear the word feminist and I
Hmm.
get so hyped up because, we need a lot more feminists than we currently have on the African continent. Now, Evelyn, I want your opinion on that. When you are a feminist in our continent of
Mhm,
Africa, how do
mhm.
you deal with that? Because we're very patriarchal by nature. Now, how do you manage that without coming across, there's a lot of misconception of the meaning of the word feminist. Now I
Yeah.
want to hear your take on that. How do you view it?
I'm so proud to be a feminist, an African feminist, because usually there is a misunderstanding of that word. Feminist doesn't mean people who want to kill men or women who want to take the position of men. That is not the real meaning of feminist. Feminist is somebody who is defending women's rights, who ensure that women also are gaining something in their living standard, anywhere they are. Somebody who ensure that women also have rights. They are not a second zone citizen, but they are a normal citizen that should benefit from everything that a normal citizen in a country should benefit. That is the men understanding of feminists. Is not to fight against men. No, the day African will understand feminism, they will love it, because we are not there to offend anybody. It's just a matter of justice. It's a matter of law. It's just to respect the law. All our African country have have laws that acknowledge that men and women are the same. They are complete citizens. So I don't know why, because of our traditional value, because of patriarchal system, we will say no. Women does not. They are not allowed to have land. They are not allowed to be against their husband if they seems they think that some things are wrong in their couple. They are allowed also to use justice justice services if something is wrong. And those services are
Yeah.
obliged to judge them the same way they will just judge a man. So I don't know why people are having that wrong understanding of what is feminism. Yeah, matter of
Well,
communication
I love it,
is important
especially.
to me.
Well, I love it so much, especially, I mean, when we work in the agri
Yeah.
space, I think it is very important to actually have, that way of elevating the role of
Yeah,
women, because in most cases, you have a lot of women who are in that
yeah,
space. Okay, so let's go back to
yeah.
Cameroon. When I was telling my friend here, I was saying, no, we're gonna host Cameroon and it's West Africa. And I'm like, oh no, Central Africa. And I'm like, okay, no, I don't know. There is a lot of confusion of where Cameroon is.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put a map of Cameroon. And I know that the nickname of Cameroon, they know it as the hinge of
Yeah.
Africa. And we need to see, you have to tell us where Cameroon is. Is it in West Africa? Is it in Central Africa? Tell us, and who are the surrounding countries? Tell us a little bit more about where Cameroon is.
Okay. Cameroon is situated at the real center of Africa. So we are part of
Okay.
Central Africa. But the only thing,
Okay.
yes, geographically, yes, the map shows it. We are part of
Yeah.
the Central African institutions, part of ECAS. He says yes, Economic Commission for Central Africa. We are part of, yes, we are part of BEAC. This is the monetary system. But the only thing is that the United Nations system also include us in West Africa, because we are just close Nigeria, close
I
Niger,
see.
close Burkina Faso. So we are really close to West Africa geographically too. But normally, politically, we are part of Central Africa. In all the United
Wow.
States, in the United System organizations, we relate to Dakar, to Senegal, where they have most of the headquarters. The regional headquarters of United Nations systems are based in Dakar, and then they include also Cameroon. But it's just the way of thinking, the vision of the United States. In normally we are part of the all the Central African bodies, institutions, and even monetary systems.
Wow. That is so interesting, Doc, listening to our guest here telling us about where Africa is situated and whatnot, and how the Western countries classify us and how we classify ourselves. You see, it's so interesting. That is why this show is all about Africans coming together to share their own stories, the way they see it. So for me, this is very, very interesting that this is where they see themselves, which is Central Africa, and this is now how someone out there is classifying us. So this is quite interesting. I'm ready to learn more about Cameroon, and I must declare, Doc, I didn't know a lot, and I'm sure I'm not the only one here. So I can't wait. I can't wait to learn more.
Okay. So Cameroon comes from the name Cameroon comes from the Portuguese. They arrived in the century during the 16th century, and they settled at Douala. Douala is the economic town capital of Cameroon now. So that is the entrance of Cameroon. Just the entrance is at the level of the Atlantic Sea. So they settled in Douala, and when they arrived, there is one of the biggest river of Cameroon that is called Vuri. That's come from the hinterland and goes straight to the Atlantic Sea. that river has so much shrimp. So they were impressed of the level of shrimp that was in that river that they decided to call Cameroon Rio dos Camaroes. So that means in Portuguese, the shrimp river. Later on, when the Dutch came, beginning of the year 80s, they were the first white people to really go deeply into inside the country. Then they colonized Cameroon. When they arrived, they asked to the Portuguese, "What is the name of this place?" The Portuguese says this place is called Rio dos Camaroes. That was too difficult for the Dutch yes to 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 say it. So they just they took the last word that was Camaros, and they said, okay, this is Cameroon. So that name comes from the Portuguese, but later on was confirmed by the Dutch. Then the Dutch colony was called Cameroon with a K. Later on, when the German lose the first World War, the territory was divided into two. 80% of the territory went to France, and 20% of the territory went to Great Britain. That is why in Cameroon you are having part of the country speaking French, and the other part is speaking English. So France and Great Britain their mission was to enable the country to become independent. It was just to prepare the country for the independencies. Uh, the Great Britain did it the way they did their best, but the France managed the French part as if it was a French colony. And I'm not going to go deeply into that story because that is the situation that is causing civil war. We are having now civil war between the French part and the English part, because all the convention that were signed between the two parts, and all the partnership that were signed, the agreements, if we can say, that was signed during the independence days, are not really the government is not really considering it now, and the English speaking part are not happy with that. So it's a bilingual country. The country is constituted by more than 250 tribes. So
Whoa.
we also call ourselves Africa in miniature, because as at the middle of Africa, we have also the extreme north of the country is the Sahel. So there you can have the weather can be like 45 degrees. 40 to 45 degrees is the Sahel, is savanna, is high rocks, is everything that is really similar to Chad, to Burkina Faso, to the Sahel part. And the south of Cameroon is where the rainforest starts. So the Congo Basin forest starts in the south of Cameroon. Then you have all those kind of climate that you can find in all the places in Africa.
Wow.
Yes, you have everything. You have the rainforest, you have the Sahel, you have the great mounts, because the second mountain, the second highest mountain in Africa after Kilimanjaro is Mount Cameroon.
Oh,
So
wow. You know what? It seems like there is a lot we can learn. It seems to me that Cameroon, you have the best of both worlds. But you know what? Let's take
yeah,
a break. And on that note, when we come back, you'll tell us more. You said you've got 250 what? I'm very
Like,
keen to learn about that. I do not understand how 250 tribes can survive in one area, but it's so riveting. I can sit here listening to you, but we'll talk more about that just when we come back from an ad break. So hang tight and we're going to come back soon.
okay.
Welcome back to our listeners. And I see our usual people have logged in. We have online Mani Elizabeth Shipalane. Thank you for tuning in, my mother. And then we have Sisi Dolim Share saying good evening. You know, they're saying hi to our beautiful guest in studio. Doesn't she look beautiful? And we have a comment from one of our loyal listeners as well. Mantakan Mabasa is saying 250 tribes. You know what? Such an enormous history makes sense. So people are really enjoying this history lesson. And that is the long and short of this program, good listeners. We want to tell our African stories our own way. You know what? Before we went for an ad break, you were still telling us, Miss Evelyn, about the 250 tribes. How is that organized? Do you have provinces like we do? How does that work? Please share with us.
Thank you, Aventina. So we have in the north, as I was saying, the country is divided. Is like divided into two parts: the north and the south. The north tribe, the north is populated by people who were coming, who migrated from the north of Africa. That then you have tribe like they have the same behavior, and also they really looks like Sudanese. Yes, Fulani. They are, yes, that is the north of the country, and they have their specific. They that Most of the population of the north are Muslim. So more than 70% of the North Cameroon are Muslim. So in the south now, you have Bantu. The Bantu people start from Cameroon. So in the history, they say that they migrated from Cameroon till South Africa. So you have your brothers in my countries, your ancestors, if we can say it like that. Your ancestors, most of your ancestors came from Cameroon. So that makes us a good variety of tribes. Most of these people in the south are Christians, and also we also have a good quantity of animals. Like in my tribe, I comes from the tribe, one of the famous tribe that is called Bamileke. So we are more animist. There are we are like 25 or 30% of Christians. There is no Muslim in our tribe because we were against the fact that somebody can come and say that you have to have this number of women. So polygamy is part of our culture in my tribe, and of course in the north also, they are mostly polygamy. They use polygamy.
Oh, wow. You
So
know what? That is a sore subject here because we also have two camps around here. People saying no to polygamy and other people saying yes to polygamy. And sometimes religion is used and culture is also thrown into that, how is it working? Is it as happy as other people believe, or is it a misery for other wives in there? How does it work? That's an interesting one, and I'm sure our listeners are dying to hear that. How is it working?
Okay, do you want me to talk as an African or as a feminist? Because that means I am divided into two at this moment.
You know what? This is our African experience show where we
Yes,
share our Africa our way. No, I want to hear all about your way of understanding what polygamy is and what it's doing for us.
yes. So polygamy is our ancestral way of behaving. According to our ancestors, that was the main issue. The main issue was that till today's, you have more women than men. So, and there is no way in our culture that a woman will stay alone. No, it's not possible in their vision and in their way of thinking. All women should have a husband. So that was the base. And the second thing behind polygamy was that a rich person, a rich man in those days was somebody who has more than two wives and who has many children. So that was the base, and also they needed to have so many wives and children to 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 be able to use them as to cultivate their farms. Because if you wanted to become somebody important, you had you have to prove that you are able to produce and to sell enough food. And then you needed, at that in those days, there was the system of hiring somebody to come and to work in your farm, and you pay him at the end of the day. Was not that was not, It was not that system. The system was that you use your parenthood, you use your wives, your children, to farm your land.
You.
And then you needed, you as an important man, you needed many women and many children to work with you to build your wealth. So that was the idea behind polygamy. Of course, as all system, polygamy has weaknesses and strengths. Few strengths that I can identify in polygamy. I can talk about it because my grandfather had 18 wives.
You.
So my grandmother is the fifth one. Yeah. So I can talk about it because I had the opportunity to grow in it, and then I can analyze it very easily. So the only thing that was very nice in polygamy, that is still nice, is that is it gives to the wives a liberty. The wife does not live in the same house with the husband. Each wife has her own house. That when she get married, the husband built that house, and she stayed there with her children. And the husband too has his specific house. So he was not allowed to go in any wife house if he is not invited. People taking care of the husband was the son. The son was more than 15 years. They were the one living with their father, then taking care of the father. And the women were there in their specific houses with small children.
You.
Then that gives women enough freedom. They were not obliged to cook every day for the husband. They are not there to clean his clothes yes, they organize themselves. The only thing they are obliged to do is to have sex with the husband and to work in the farm of the husband. And even there, they also had their specific farm. While working in the husband farm, they were also working in their specific farms, growing their Irish potatoes,
Mm.
their beans, like that. That they were able to control.
Sure.
Wow.
You know what?
Wow.
So
We
that
are
is the
learning.
main. But as weaknesses, weaknesses start when the husband died. So
Wow.
that becomes a jungle.
Mhm. Wow,
Mm.
Doc, you know
Mm.
what? You know, this is a mouthful. We having
Mm.
today a beautiful host,
Mm.
a sociologist from
Yeah.
Cameroon, now working in the DRC, passionate about feminism, now talking
Mm.
polygamy in a way that I've never heard before. You
Yeah.
know what? Here, from where I'm sitting,
True.
you come and tell me
Mm.
polygamy. It's something that is frowned upon. And now, when you're saying polygamy was also used as a measure of addressing food security, in
Yeah.
terms that they had farming as a way of taking care of their families. The more wives you have, it
Mm.
means the more harvest you're going to have, and that's how life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what, I dog, so what does it mean for me and you, my mentor?
No,
Where
I'm
you
actually thinking. I'm actually thinking, Mandla, I also see, a different, perspective around the issues of, polygamy. Because what I'm picking from what she's saying is that, it didn't take away women's power. Because she says a woman still had a power, to invite, the men. And I think
Yeah.
how we have seen polygamy being practiced is that it takes away the women power. The man is the one who's so powerful. But from how
No.
she's actually saying it is that, the woman remains, powerful in this thing. I find it very fascinating when I look at it from that end. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? We
Yeah,
need to have a sit down on this topic in J on its own. Clearly, there's
yeah,
different
yeah.
facets to it that we don't or are not anywhere near understanding. Because from where I'm sitting, like I said, it's not a good concept to entertain. But anyway, that's for another topic. Going back to Cameroon, tell us about the culture. What brings livelihood into the people of Cameroon? What do you do during weddings? How do you celebrate your culture? So take us through the cultural aspect of Cameroon.
There are so many nice things in our culture. The first thing is cooking. We are so proud of our cooking, and we think we can assure you that Cameroonian dishes are the best of Africa.
I can attest to that. Evelyne, I can attest to that. I remember when I came, you took me to this restaurant and we're eating fish it was so beautiful. I wish I could actually come back. It was so beautiful. But I want you
Yeah.
to hold your thought. Before we even go to the dishes and everything, I think we might have to take a commercial break. And
Yeah.
when we come back, we want to see the feet. We want to see, I know you also have the national, dish and all that. We want to hear a lot about that. So we're going to take
Yeah.
a short commercial break. When we come back, we unpack more about the culture and food and clothes and many other things around Cameroon. Our
Yeah.
listeners, stay tuned. in the African experience with me, HLAMI Ngwenya. I'm not alone. I'm with my host, my co-host, Mandla Mabunda. We are talking anything and everything around Cameroon with our beautiful guest, Evelyne. Evelyne, before we go to the food, there is a question here. I think the whole issue around polygamy drew a lot of people's attention. I have, Dr. Mikateko Mabunda, who's saying, what are the rules of polygamy in Cameroon? In South Africa, for instance, the first wife is the one that chooses the new wife. How does it work in Cameroon? Does the wife, have a role in choosing who's coming next?
Yeah. Normally, during my grandmother time, that was the same thing. So the first wife was supposed to choose the second one. The second will choose the third will choose. So that is why you can see women's married to friends married to the same man.
I see.
Oh.
So most of the time they were, yeah.
Oh wow, that is something. You see,
The
now you are
yes,
putting a very good light on it, because then it doesn't have that kind of oppressive streak that is normally associated with that. And you see, now you are bringing out all our feminists here in South Africa, because now the next question they're saying, what is the norm when it comes to marrying an educated, powerful woman in Cameroon?
Cameroonians are afraid to marry powerful, educated women. They are afraid. But yes, they, 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 they don't know how to manage it. For them, they really want to have a wife who will say yes, yes, yes every day, and who will never say no, or who will say. They don't want somebody who will discuss about their arguments. No, they don't like it, but they are obliged. They are obliged when you fall in love with a powerful, educated woman. You are going to manage to and ensure that okay, you make it a success.
Hey, yeah,
Wow,
I'm telling you,
that is
it's
so
quite
beautiful.
interesting.
Man, yeah, no, I find it very interesting too. So let's go back
And
to the food.
sometimes the diary is too high. It's too heavy when the woman is well educated and yes,
Yeah,
and she has a good job. So the family
yeah,
would put the diary very high, and they
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
Sometimes
isn't
it
it
No,
becomes
amazing though, the way our countries operate? Because in general, that's how most African countries. I'll talk about Africa because that's all I know. That's how we operate. Even here, it's the same. Sister
yeah,
Evelyn, even here, when someone is well educated, someone who's outspoken, someone who can articulate themselves, the family sort of also add to what we call the lobola
mhm.
negotiations. So it's almost as if that is equated to the value of that. And the argument from men's side is that no, but there is no relation between these two concepts. I'm looking for a wife, I'm
mm,
not looking for your degree. But you know what? We can go on this topic until
I
days on
know.
end. I would like to welcome our other beautiful audience that are joining us. Pastor Joylene, thank you for the continued support. And I want us to go back. Before we went on an ad break, we were talking about the culture. I know polygamy is part of the culture, but we'll just drop it for now and address the issue of the activities, the festivities. Do you have special holidays? What do you do? Weddings? How do you celebrate that? All those kind of nice cultural activities.
Yeah,
Yes. Traditional, we have enough traditional festivities. Each tribe has a specific manifestation, traditional manifestations. You have like Dungondo. Dungondo is organized by the people of Douala. the people, the tribes living on the coast, on the coastal region.
Yeah.
So each year, at the end of the year, they organize a manifestation that they call Ngondo, and they go inside the river, inside the sea, and stay there for weeks inside. It's very, yeah. They stay there for weeks, talking with their gods. This
Okay.
because their gods lives inside the sea. So they mami wata, what you want to call them, but for them is very important for them to go there and talk with their gods about their problems, and they also come back with the the, the, the main arguments that, or the main information that they receive from the gods, and they
Yeah.
will come back and they will come up in from the river in front of all the villages and all
Yeah.
the people of tribes to send
Mm.
the messages that they took from the gods in the sea.
Okay.
So that is for the coastal part.
Mm.
In my tribe, Bamileke, uh, each each specific village organize its traditional festivities. We have a traditional outfit that we call ndop. Is blue and white. Is a
Mm-hmm.
handmade. Is a handmade cloth, and
Okay.
yes, it's very beautiful one. Let
Mm-hmm.
me next time when I'm coming to South Africa, remind me. I will bring one
I
for
will,
you.
I will
Really,
do that.
really traditional way, and we
Mhm.
also have many traditional outfits that are so uh, visible, so specific to our tribes. We dance
And
on the
then is
fire,
the one that you are wearing now.
but this is just it's not my traditional outfit, but
Okay.
yes, we can say yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
I could
Mhm.
have I would have send you some pictures with traditional outfit in for
That's
from
fine.
different tribes in Cameroon. Yes, we have
Mm.
specific traditional outfit,
Mm.
and in my tribe we dance on the fire. We make grow a banana in 2 hours. On the middle of the compound, we make grow a banana tree. Will grow and produce a banana during 2 hours when dancing. We have so many spiritual and traditional
Mm.
dances
No, let's
in the north.
hang on, Miss Evelyn. I can't. You you just mentioned something very interesting right now. Tell me,
Hmm.
in terms of agricultural terms, norms and
Yeah,
standards, it's almost impossible to grow a banana or any fruit or vegetable in
In
2 hours.
2 hours.
we do that.
How
We do
do
it.
you how please share?
It's
Share.
spiritual. It's
Okay.
African spirituality.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm sure our
Interesting.
listeners want to know.
It's
I
in
mean,
front of
someone insists.
everybody.
Uh-huh.
We plant a small banana tree, and while dancing around the tree is growing, and 2 hours later we'll have banana and you can eat.
Okay.
That is my
I
tribe.
know. Okay. But
We we eat fire, we eat fire, we dance on it without burning it, without being burning.
yeah.
We
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Make
Phew.
and Evelyn. So this
Yes,
comes
Lami.
from your culture, right? Does it happen
Yeah.
if somebody, an outsider like me, if I will come with you when you are dancing around, would I be able to see that?
Yeah, everybody see it.
Okay, Amanda,
No, yeah.
we always say we're looking for places, to visit, in Africa. I think this would be a
Yeah,
very interesting, experience to. What do you think?
You know what, Doc?
Mm.
I could just pick my mouth from the floor. Number one, she spoke about going under water. Now,
Yeah.
in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you drown. If you can't breathe, you can't swim, danger. But now you go there, right? That's another part. Now you can grow a banana in 2 hours. Definitely, my inquisitive mind says I need to go and see that for myself. I don't want to be a Thomas, but honestly, I'm intrigued at this point. I want to go there. So tell me, on that note, what sort of fruits and vegetables are you mostly growing in Cameroon?
In Cameroon, because of the soil diversity, we grow everything.
Mm.
I can tell you that in my grandfather compound we have two how do you two apple tree, two apple trees. One
Mhm.
grows yellow apple, the other one grows red apples.
Okay.
Because my village is situated in the mountain and the place is really fresh. That was the base, the headquarter of German. They selected it because of the weather.
Uh-huh.
We grow maize. We grow enough cassava. We grow
And cocoa.
plantain, banana, cocoa,
Yeah.
coffee.
Mm-hmm.
One of the famous pepper in the world comes from Cameroon is penja pepper.
Okay.
Is yes, the label you can type in Google. Poivre de
Mm-hmm.
penja is penja pepper. It
Yeah.
comes from Cameroon. We grow
Mm-hmm.
enough fruit. We have a huge cattle rearing in the north where you
Yeah.
have enough. There is savanna. All the places are just white like that with greens. We have enough cattle.
Okay.
um, yes,
Mm-hmm.
in the north, because of the Sahel part, they also grow the specific things.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can say it in English. I don't know the real words, but they grow everything that is fits with the savanna and the Sahel climate. They grow it there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's beautiful. I think we're gonna take another commercial break, but when we come back, I understand that Cameroon has the Africa's oldest forest. It's actually found in Cameroon, and there are a lot of
Yeah.
species there and all that. I would like us to talk a little bit about that, but I also would like you to tell us a little bit about some of the World Heritage sites and some of the tourist attractions that people could see when they come to Cameroon. Let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about that after the commercial break.
Okay.
Are you ready for the ultimate dietary powerhouse? Look no further than Masana Dietitian's Nutro Boost. Our scientifically formulated low GI food is designed to give you the boost you need to fuel your body and reach your health goals. With Nutro Boost, you have the flexibility to enjoy it as a high fiber cereal or a satisfying shake. Simply mix it with water and indulge in the mouth-watering flavors that we have to offer. But that's not all. NutriBoost is packed with essential nutrients that are beneficial for your overall well-being. Enriched with 20 immune-boosting vitamins and minerals, it's a convenient and effective way to support your immune system. And here's the best part. NutriBoost is gluten-free, egg-free, and high in omega-3, making it suitable for those with dietary restrictions or allergies. Need an energy boost? NutriBoost has you covered. It's high in energy and protein, providing you with the fuel you need to power through your day. Whether it's a busy morning or an intense workout session, say goodbye to midday slumps and hello to sustained energy with NutriBoost. Try it today and experience the difference. For orders or to become a distributor, contact us on the following details.
Gentlemen, you are listening, to the African Experience with me, HLAMI Ngwenya. I'm together with my beautiful host, Mandla Mabunda. We are talking anything and everything about Cameroon, and we are hosting our special guest, Evelyne. Before we went for break, she has been telling us about very exciting things, and I could see that, Takan Mabasa there say, no, she's also coming with us when we visit Cameroon to really experience, some of these things that, Evelyne is actually sharing with us. Okay. Yes, I can see we have, beautiful, food that, you prepare in Cameroon. Before we went for break, I wanted us to talk about the oldest forest that is said to be found the Africa's oldest forest. It's said to be found in Cameroon. What is your take about it? What can you tell us about, this forest? And I think they call it the Korok National Park Forest.
Yeah, that is the Korok National Park is in the southwest region. It's the English part of the country, and that forest has specific tree species that I have never seen. Kind of trees that has been destroyed in other places, you can find it there. And also animals, monkeys, so many ruminants, so many. We have a space in Cameroon. We have the biggest frog in the world.
The
That is
Goliath.
called the frog, Goliath. Yes, we have it in that park. Yes, this is the Goliath frog.
That when we're preparing for the show, we saw that, and I wanted you to confirm. Oh, the Goliath frog!
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is very interesting.
It's in the Korok Park, and just near the Korok Park, you have Dibuncha. Dibuncha is the place where rain never stop in the world. It's special in the world. It's raining every day.
I see.
Wow.
Every day, rain never stop there. If you go to Dibuncha, you will have rain, even during dry season.
Yes, and I think maybe you might be right, because when I was actually Googling a little bit, doing my research, I heard that Cameroon is one of the wettest country on the earth, because there is a lot of rain. Is that the reason? Because you have this place where it's raining all the time.
Yeah. And
this is quite fascinating. Miss Evelyne, on that note, with all this new facts that you are telling us, this is stuff that you cannot find on Wikipedia. You cannot find this information on Google. This is real life African experience. And this is the content that really we are signing up for. So thank you for sharing. And on that note, you have already enticed the appetite of South Africans to come and visit Cameroon. How easy is it to get the travel documents in order? Is there a visa requirement? Or when it comes to costing, how much would you say one need on a 7-day trip? Please take us through that experience. I know you've been back, and you're a global citizen, so please take us through that. How easy is it to travel to Cameroon, and what does one need?
It's very easy to travel to Cameroon. You can take your visa if you are based in Pretoria. We have an embassy in Pretoria. You can go to the Cameroonian embassy, but you can also take the visa at the entrance. All our airports has visa services for those who didn't have enough time to take visa before traveling. So there are many companies coming to Cameroon. You have Kenya Airways, you have Ethiopian, you have Air France, you have Turkish. There are so many companies coming. You can land in Douala, or you can just decide to land in Douala or in Yaoundé, because those are the two international airports that you can say that we have. We also have one international airport in the far north, but most of the times it's used for those who are traveling to Chad or to Nigeria too, or to the West Africa. But coming from,
Okay.
yes,
No, that
coming
is
from
so
South Africa,
interesting.
you
Mm-hmm.
can select to land in Douala or in Yaoundé. Yaoundé is the headquarter, and Douala is the economic capital
Mm-hmm.
of Cameroon.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Uganda is
Thank
like
you
us,
so much.
where you have Cape Town and then you have Pretoria and things like that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yo,
That's
this
so
is so
beautiful.
interesting. You know, we are only left with less than 5 minutes into our show, and I'm already thinking, oh my goodness, I still have a lot of questions to go through. And I see our listeners are very keen on hearing more. But you know what? This is the time, this is the last part of the show where we allow you, really, unless if Doc you want to ask something before the end, but this is where we allow you to share with Africans what is in your heart. What is it that you want to tell Africans listening to you now, considering that you're a sociologist, Cameroonian based in DRC, working for a Swedish NGO. It's quite an interesting, really life story that I think a lot of people would die to listen to. So, what would you say to someone who's aspiring to be like you, for example?
Yes.
Maybe let me come in. Sorry, Mandla. Before she maybe she can also share with us her own experiences, because I know she's very well traveled. Maybe you
Yes.
could share with us how many other countries have you traveled to in Africa and beyond, and add that in whatever key message that you want to share with us.
Yeah. So let's start with Africa. I have been in two. I have been in 15 countries in Africa, including South Africa, of course. So the
Mm.
list is really long. But in Europe, I have been in all European countries, but not yet in Norvège, Norvège,
Mm.
Norvège.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Portugal, yes, but I have been in all the other European country. I got my visa to visit United States, but COVID came. I had a 1 year visa, but COVID came the next month, and I was not able. But I am still planning to go to United States
Wow.
too, and Canada.
Mhm. Okay.
So, what? Yes, can I
Yes.
answer
So
a
what is the
question?
key message? Yeah, the
Yes.
message that you want to share with us. Yeah.
The key message I want to share is that we have everything in Africa. But we just lack loving ourselves.
Mm.
If we are able to love ourselves, Africa will grow faster than what is ongoing now. The
Yeah.
thing is that we have in our head that we are the least people in the earth. No, we are the richest people in the earth. We have everything in Africa, including our traditional behavior, because
Mm.
the white people came and told us that our tradition is witchcraft. No, our tradition is not witchcraft. Normally, our traditional was to fight against witchcraft, but we
Mm.
put everything aside. We took the religion of other people, and now we are Christians, we are Muslim. No, normally we should come back to our roots, as Chinese did, as Japanese did. They stay with the culture, and it's based on that culture that they grow.
Mm.
We push everything aside. We took other religions, and how are we going to grow? We should
Mm.
learn what was our roots to
Mm.
take it again, the good things that
Mm.
our ancestor created, and move
Mm.
ahead with that,
Mm.
because they gave us everything. We have the
Mm.
strongest
Mm.
well-being. Imagine that
Mm.
COVID, they thought that COVID will kill us. COVID, what in Cameroon, there was less than 1,000 people who died of COVID. We were just eating our foods as usually. We were taking our traditional medicines to take care of it. I suffer of COVID. I was cured by traditional medicines. We have it's just a matter of having more confidence on us, loving us first, and then we will move with what we have.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm looking at my time. It's running fast when we are having beautiful time. But as we said, now that you are actually in DRC, probably we need to invite you some other time so that you can tell us about your other part that is in DRC. But thank you so much for honoring us. We have learned a lot, and we want to thank you. Mandla, the last word from you, my sister.
You know what? I'm blown away. Cameroon is now the place to go. We need to go there ASAP and then, experience this.
To Cameroon. You will love
And
it.
we thank you so much. We thank you so much. And before we sign off again, as usual, we'd like to thank our producer, Miss DJ Messi, for a beautiful, splendid show. You were with me, Mandla Aventina Wakamabunda, on the African Experience with my beautiful co-host, Dr. HLAMI. And thank you to everyone who took their time to tune in and listen to this show. I'm telling you, I'm getting a lot of messages saying, wow, what a beautiful show. So we need to really bring her back, Doc, and let's talk DRC. But really, we know we are just continuing where we left it. So on that note, stay blessed, and I'm signing out next week, same time, same place.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
L'autre a fait 3 mois, Noël, il devrait nous. Il a fait 3 mois dans l'eau pour son initiation.
Hello, bye.